Hello everyone, welcome back to the Dominaria full set review for green this time. I'm Brett and I'm joined again by my green fan Anthony.
How you going, Brett?
Pretty good, mate. We're going to go and talk about some green cards.
Yep. Starting
And
off right.
starting off right, yeah, we usually start at Wooburg and work our way through. We're going to reverse it up this time so that some green gets a bit of early love and we don't get tired of them by the end.
Yeah.
And we're kicking off with an Adventurous Impulse. This is 1 mana. Look at the top 3 cards of your library. You may reveal a creature or land card from among them and put it into your hand. The rest go on the bottom of your library in any order. And this is always a good little common. It does what you need it to do, and it just slots nicely into the curve. So if you've got that extra mana, you can be as mana efficient as possible.
Yeah, I like this card. We had one for the dinos in the last block, and this just lets you get any creature. So yeah, it's not bad. Not bad. Good filler.
Yes, absolutely. Don't need to pick it early, but definitely chuck it in your green deck when you've got them.
Yep. All right. Next one is Ancient Animus. 1 and a green for an instant. Put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control if it's legendary. Then it fights target creature and opponent controls. So it gets the counter if it's legendary, but it always fights.
Right. I think the first time I read that, I put the full stop after the you control, and then if it's legendary in my mind.
Yeah.
So if it's legendary, it fought, or it just gets canned. But it's the other way around, which is better.
Yes.
Instant speed fight seems really good.
Yep. Pit fight, I remember, was pretty good, and this is just upside on that. So I'm sure this is good.
Yeah. So this is how green kills things. See, this is your green removal. So you need to take this pretty early if you're going to be in green, because it shouldn't wheel.
Yep.
And we have the return of Multani, which we'll see a little bit later on. Ava Armament is a 1 mana instant. You put a 1/1 counter on target creature. That creature gains reach until end of turn, which is a fine little combat trick. I like combat tricks that leave counters because it's a permanent upgrade as opposed to a temporary one.
Yep.
And this is going to help you against the blue-white flyers deck. It's probably not going to be main board. It might be if you want a couple of combat tricks, but primarily you're going to bring this in against blue-white flyers.
Yes. It's not as good as like a plummet or anything, but it should probably get the job done most of the time.
Yeah. So it's fine. I probably don't early pick
Yeah.
this, and don't worry about cutting them. They're not that important.
Yep. Oh, Baloth Gorger. 2 green for a 4/4 creature beast. It's got kicker of 4, and if Baloth Gorger was kicked, it enters the battlefield with 3 +1/+1 counters on it. So it becomes a 7/7 for 8 mana, which is great, actually.
Yeah.
This is a really good card.
This is really good common. The return of kicker. Kicker is a great ability because it lets you play it cheap or play it more expensive for a bigger effect. So it has value at both points in the game. It's kind of like a Muldrifter in that way, which is really
Yeah.
good. Kicker is an additional cost for those, and this is something that always seems to come up in is a judge call for any time a spell gets cast for free. Can you do this? Can you do that? Additional costs you can do. So if you cast this spell for free for some reason, you can pay kicker if you want to. You have to pay for 4, but you can pay it.
Okay.
Just as a rules clarification, sorry.
Yeah, that's good to know, because I probably would have asked that.
Yeah.
But yeah, these stats are pretty good. Like 4/4 for 4 is really good in limited.
Yeah.
And just having the additional benefit of it being huge in the late game when you draw it, this card's really good. I think this is going to be one of the best green commons.
Yeah, this is a very strong green pick, so you're probably not going to see this on the wheel. Going to have to get it the first few rounds.
Yeah, for sure.
Alright, next up, Broken Bond. This is a naturalize almost. It's a 2 mana sorcery, destroy target artifact or enchantment, so it does the naturalize effect, and you may put a land card from your hand onto the battlefield. It gives you a little bonus, little ramp. You must have a target though. You can't just say, I want to put a land into play. You have to have a target for that artifact or enchantment. That said, we've just seen a lot of interesting artifacts, so I think there's going to be some targets.
Yeah, I think so as well. I think this is going to be a good card.
Yes. Certainly going to
And
have that around.
I actually think I'll mainboard this in this format, just by the sheer number of artifacts and the number of really good artifacts. I just got a feeling that this is going to be good.
Yeah, I can definitely see that becoming the norm. I don't think I'm going to start main decking. I'm going to see whether or not I want to bring it in. but I
Yep.
feel like I'm going to be bringing it in more often than not, so it might end up in the main.
Yep. All right, Corrosive Ooze. 1 and a green for a 2/2 ooze, and when it blocks or becomes blocked by an equipped creature, destroy all equipment attached to that creature at the end of combat. Well, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a bear with upside, which is fine.
Yeah.
We have certainly seen equipment, and it doesn't even have to hit that creature. So if the creature has first strike with the jousting thing or for other thing, it just has to block. You will get the equipment. You may not get the creature, but you will get the equipment.
Yeah, and that's really good.
It's decent. So cool little card.
Yep, I like it.
Play it because you need bears, basically, and everything else is upside.
Yep.
We have an elf, a mana elf, 2 mana for a 0/2 elf druid, 1 and a green. You can tap to add green, or you can tap to add green, and spend that on kicked spells, which kicker being a common thing in green.
Yeah, I really like this card. I think this card's going to be really good.
Yeah, I think these mana elves pretty much unanimously are good in any set that we have them. 1 and 2 mana elves pretty much always take them. Lano elves is better than this, but not by a lot.
Yeah, not by much. The reason is just because it seems like there's a kicker theme in this, so you want a lot of mana. So having elves is just good when you want a lot of mana, but getting double mana for your mana stuff for your big stuff is just great.
Yeah, I can definitely see a big green ramp deck forming.
Yeah. Ooh, Fungal Plots. 1 and a green for an enchantment, and you can pay 1 and a green and exile a creature card from your graveyard and create a 1/1 green sapperling creature token. Then you can sacrifice 2 sapperlings, gain 2 life, and draw a card. Ooh, this might start a little self-mill theme here. Just start making sapperlings and gaining life, drawing cards.
Yeah,
I kind of like it.
Seems good. This is certainly a cog in a bigger machine. This is not something you're just going to do by itself. I feel like you need to have other ways to make sapperlings.
Oh, yeah, probably. Yeah, probably.
I mean, it's okay. I guess if you need a filler card or you need something to help push you through the late game, you can exile your creatures a little bit of extra value. 4 mana to gain 2, draw a card. Assuming you have creatures in your graveyard isn't the worst, but it is not the best either.
Yeah, that's fair. You're not picking this over good commons that we've seen already.
I mean, put this next to Slimefoot and you're the happiest person. Because you can just make sapperlings all day.
That's it. That's what I want to do.
Yeah, decent card if you can build in the synergies.
Yep. All right, guys. Blessing. 1 and a green for a sorcery. Target player shuffles up to 3 target cards from their graveyard into their library. Draw a card. Then when Guy's Blessing is put into your graveyard from the library, shuffle your graveyard into your library.
So this is just going to take that fungal plot and ruin it.
It ruins my dreams.
Also hates out on Godfarer's Gift a little bit. I mean, not instant, so you don't get to snipe stuff out from under them, but it can get rid of a few of their main targets in Standard. In Limited, just completely ignore it. If you have them in your sideboard, that's great if your opponent is using the fungal plot, but hopefully you've got that.
Yeah, I mean, they'd have to have some really good reanimation spell or something for you to be doing this.
Yeah, so keep an eye out for reanimation trickery in Limited, but otherwise it stays in the sideboard.
Yeah.
We have a Gaia's Protector. This is a 4 mana 4/2, and it has Lure, so it must be blocked if able.
I feel like it's always going to get blocked anyway, but I don't know.
Yeah, you're just trading with a bear.
Fine, right? Yeah, it's not great.
I mean, not bad with the Jousting Lance, so that has first strike, but
yeah,
6/2 first strike.
Actually, that's pretty cool. That is pretty cool, actually. I kind of like that. You've turned me around on both this card and the Lance. I like that a lot.
So you can do some stuff with it, but it's a reasonable green common. I think you don't just want to chuck this in without having a plan for it. You want to have some tricks, you want to have some equipment, you want to make this a little bit better than it is on its own.
Yeah. I think that the Gaze Protector must be blocked if able is upside. I don't think...
Yes.
I think there just because you can put your opponent in situations where it's good. So don't see that as downside or anything.
No,
Because if they were going to block with a crap creature, then they're going to block with that anyway.
Yeah, and you don't have to attack. That's like, if them blocking is bad for you, that's fine. Just don't attack. It's not forcing you. But you can attack when it's bad for them.
Yeah. Okay. I want to find some good ways to use this card.
Yeah, that seems good. So next we have a Gift of Growth. This would be one way.
Okay. 2 mana for an instant, and it has kicker of 2 mana. Untap target creature. It gets +2/+2 until end of turn. If this spell was kicked, that creature gets +4/+4 until end of turn instead. Yep. Good trick.
Yeah, I like this one because, particularly in combination with the previous card, your opponent plays some decent creature on their 4th or 5th turn, and you swing in, they have to block with it if they don't have anything else, and you use this and kill it. So this can be a removal spell in combination with other things. It's not quite giant growth, but it's pretty good.
Yeah, no, I like it a lot. I think this is a decent trick.
Good one, Gift of Growth. Alright. Next we have Grow from the Ashes. This is a 3 mana sorcery. Search your library for a basic land, put it into the battlefield. Not tapped, just put it onto the battlefield. Then if the spell was kicked, get 2 basic lands, put them onto the battlefield. This is quite good. I mean, usually our ramp puts it into play tapped. 5 mana for 2 lands isn't bad.
Yeah, no, that seems good when you've got the flexibility to do either or. Yeah, this is good fixing.
Yeah, very good fixing. I think it's good ramp. It effectively refunds 1 mana to you, so sort of costs 2, not quite, but sort of costs 2.
Yep.
Very good.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of expecting them to come back and say, "Oh, we actually meant to make it tapped." I'm actually kind of expecting that because this is pretty good.
Maybe they've fixed it. I mean, you can do this on turn 3 kicked with your elf from before, the kicker elf. So
Yeah.
making a lot of mana very quickly if you've got some of these things starting to come together. So I like this. I think you don't want to pass it if you're in green. It's going to help you splash. It's great.
Yeah, I like it. Green's coming together good. I like this.
Yeah.
All right, we've got Grun, the Lonely King. 4 green for a 5/5 ape warrior legendary creature. And it has kicker 3. If Grun, the Lonely King, was kicked, it enters the battlefield with 5 +1/+1 counters on it. Whenever Grun attacks alone, double its power and toughness until end of turn. So he gets huge.
He's swole. Yeah, Grun, I mean, we were just talking about how much mana you can have on turn 4. Where are you going to put all of that mana? Into Grun, the Lonely King. Make yourself a 10/10 that attacks for 20. Just nice.
Yeah, that seems sick to me. And this one kind of reminds me of Thrun, the Last Troll.
Mm-hmm.
They're 2 creatures that are by themselves, and they have very similar sounding names.
They're so lonely.
Yeah.
Gotta get them in a deck. Pair them up. Maybe that could be the best of friends if they could find a way through the plains.
Yeah.
I mean, there is a downside to this card. It's an uncommon for a reason. It can be just chump blocked all day. There's no evasion, no trample. So you need to find a way to get this through. But once you do, it's gonna kill them. So
Yeah, this is a pretty cool card.
yeah, very nice. Next we have Kamal's Druidic Vow. This is kind of a Genesis wave, X green. Look at the top X cards of your library and you put any lands and any legendary permanents with a converted mana cost X or less onto the battlefield. The rest go to your graveyard. I mean, they go to the graveyard, so if you want to self-mill, this is a way to do it. But I'm not a huge fan of this. Genesis wave is fine, but it's difficult.
Yeah, the thing that's difficult about it is you have to have a legendary creature or planeswalker on the field before you can even cast it, which is not great. And then you're not getting anything off the top. You're just getting more legendary permanents. And that's not exciting to me.
Yeah, I mean, the straight comparison, if you look at Genesis Wave, it's 1 more mana to Genesis Wave. It's triple green. And you just get so much more value. So this is certainly not replacing any Genesis Waves in Commander decks. And for limited play, maybe there's enough legends.
I don't know. Yeah. We did see a lot of legends in the multicolored, but they're all uncommon and rare. I don't think there are any common ones. I don't know. I'm finding it difficult to see this being any good because if you have to have one on the field, and then how many more are you gonna have in your deck?
Yeah, I mean, as you say, I think historic can get there because it has artifacts and legendaries, whereas just
Yes.
straight legendary sorceries is a lot harder to do. So I don't think the effect is worth the effort.
Unless you
I'm with
really
you.
want to ramp.
Unless you really want
Gets
to just ramp,
lands.
yeah, he gets lands. We've got to kick those spells.
Nah, I'm not. I'm not buying it.
So yeah, I'll put it in a deck, but I don't think I'm going to pick it early, which means I'm probably not going to see it. It's not going to wheel. Someone will pick it up.
Yeah, probably.
All right, what do we got next?
Croson Druid, 2 and a green for a 2/3 Centaur Druid. I feel like if there's a Centaur, it should be a 3/3. But anyway, then it's got kicker 4 and a green, and when it enters the battlefield, if it was kicked, gain 10 life. So that's what 5 plus 3 is 8. So you can gain 10 life if you pay 8. I mean, you'll probably do it if you've got the spare mana, but yeah, filler.
Yeah, it's filler. 3 mana, 2/3, fine. Play it. It's got the advantage at the end. I think it has an advantage over most 3-drops in the fact that it can be played for 8. And 10 life is enough to make a difference. Like 10 life is a turn.
Oh yeah,
So, worth kicking if you get there, but don't feel bad about playing this for 3.
yep, yeah. I would play it more for 3 than for 8. I reckon.
So next up we have Llanowar Elves. Llanowar Elves is back, and this is the biggest signal to me that we are going into a more higher powered set, a higher powered standard, because they stopped giving us 1 mana elves. It's such a big deal to get 1 mana, 1/1, add green.
Yeah, it's huge, and I think we will see throughout this when we look through the set that they are amping up the power a little bit at the earlier cost for standard, and I am so happy about that because standard was getting boring.
Yeah, and we had some standard sets that were a bit overpowered, and they've clearly tried to bring that back, but they've realised that they need to turn on the gas a bit, particularly for their return to Dominaria. So, great card. Pick it in green. Always played in green. It's just very, very powerful.
Yeah, yeah, this is really awesome, and I'm really happy about it.
It just puts you ahead.
Yeah, I don't like the art, but I like the card.
Well, there's a promo. Unfortunately, we can't get there because it's Magic Open Day today. So we're recording this for you guys, missing out on Open Day, getting those promo Llanowar Elves. So hope you're appreciating.
Yeah, I hope you're at game day now, and then you'll watch us later.
So next up is Llanowar Envoy. This is 3 mana, 3/2, and you pay 1 and a green to filter into any 1 mana, any color.
Yeah, the ability is not great, but it does fix, and it's a 3/2 for 3, so it's not bad. It's a decent card.
Serviceable, buddy. Filler. Play it when you need it.
Yeah, yeah. Llanowar Scout. 1 and a green for a 1/3 elf scout, and tap, you may put a land card from your hand onto the battlefield. So a lot of mana changing colors and adding and doing lands. There's a lot of stuff in green in this set, so this is actually pretty cool. But I think actually this one's kind of filler as well.
Yeah, so this is a lot of ramp. So let's just have a quick look, because I know that the kicker one was uncommon. We've got Llanowar Scout at common, Llanowar Elves at common, and just want to quickly go back and Grow from the Ashes at common. So that's a lot of ramp that's going to get you to your big kicker spell. So they're really enabling that kicker deck.
Yeah, I'm going to be gaining 10 life a lot.
Yeah, so that's at least 3 different green common ramp cards. I think there's going to be some big green decks, and the aggro decks are going to have a hard time keeping up.
I hope so.
Alright. Next we have a Mammoth Spider. This is a 5 mana, 4 and a green for a 3/5 spider with reach.
Oh my god, they just added 1 onto Giant Spider in every category.
It's just +1. It's instead of giant, it's now a mammoth. Okay.
That's cool, I like it.
I think it's worse
I do too.
than Giant Spider. I think Giant Spider would have been better, just as a straight reprint in multiple ways, because we're going back to a historical place. Giant Spider's sort of a staple.
Yeah, Giant Spider was, I think it was the last core set card that was in every core set,
Hmm.
and it was the last one to get to miss a core set. So yeah, something historic there. It's maybe they just need it at the mana cost. Maybe they
Maybe
blooded
4
at
was
4,
too good
but we're
to stop
ramping
the
a lot, so
flyers.
maybe
Yeah.
5 isn't a problem.
Maybe, yeah. We just talked about all that ramp, so maybe 5 is maybe it's better in this set.
Yeah.
Alright. Next up.
Marwyn, the Nurturer. 2 and a green for a 1/1 legendary creature elf druid, and whenever another elf enters the battlefield under your control, put a +1/+1 counter on Marwyn the Nurturer. And she taps to add an amount of green equal to Marwyn's power.
This is just an unholy union between like Elvish Champion and Priest of Titania.
Sorry, I don't know all of those very
I'm
well off
pretty
the
sure.
top of my head.
I think no, it's Titania's Chosen. Sorry, Titania's Chosen is a 1 and a green. Whenever you cast an elf, it gets a counter. And
Okay.
Priest of Titania taps for the number of elves you have for green.
Okay, I see.
Putting them together. This is a really good card for Elf Ball all over the place.
Yeah, this seems really cool. I think I like just about everything about this card. I love the artwork. I love both of the abilities. I just think this is a really cool card. I don't know how good it's going to be. I don't think there's enough elves for like an elf standard deck or anything, but I think this is really cool.
Yeah, I think older formats probably have a look at this. 3 mana is a little bit much for a 1/1 that doesn't do anything when it comes into play.
Yeah.
So modern elves, legacy elves, probably not going to get there. Commander elves, obviously, just going to love this in the deck, not as the commander.
Yeah.
But yeah, and haven't seen enough elves in standard or in limited to be able to play this effectively.
Yeah, but you never know. We've got another year's worth of cards, so it might get there. It would be really cool if it did, because I don't know. I just love this card. I think it's awesome.
Yeah, I think this is one of the cards you should stash away in your binder and hold on to and see if it comes to something later.
Yeah.
So we have the Mending of Dominaria. This is our first saga, I think. We haven't seen any sagas yet. So this is 3 green for a rare saga. When a saga enters the battlefield and after your draw step, you add a lore counter to it. And it has 3 different sets. So at 1 and 2 on this one, 1 and 2 lore counters, you put the top 2 cards of your library into your graveyard, then return a creature card from graveyard to hand. 5 mana to do that's kind of expensive, but you do it twice. On the 3rd trigger, you return all land cards from your graveyard to the battlefield and shuffle your graveyard into your library.
That doesn't. Yeah, it's a lot happening. It doesn't sound amazing to me, but it's really hard to tell how good these are going to be. We haven't seen anything really like this. Yeah. So you're getting 2 cards from your graveyard. Hopefully, you're getting 2 cards from your graveyard, and then you're putting all the lands that you've milled in, which might be a couple, 1 or 2. I don't know.
I'm going to say I like it for a couple of reasons. The main reason is kicker. So this is the card that I'm going to play after my turn 3, after my turn 4, sort of kicker creatures have got in combat and died. This gets them back, and then that gets all my lands back so that I have enough mana to kick them. So it sort of gives me a rebuy on them.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
So I think I will include this. I'm not going to slam first pick this by any means, but I would definitely pick this up in my green deck and play it for that reason.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. I'll probably take it first and try and see how it goes early up, because it is a pretty cool card. But yeah, I think I like it in the way that you were explaining just then.
Yeah, it's got some utility, I think, and being able to rebuy creatures is usually very good.
Yep.
All right.
Ooh, it's colourful. Multani, Yavamaya's Avatar. 4 green for a 0/0 elemental avatar. Mythic, legendary creature. It has reach and trample. And when Multani Yavamaya's Avatar gets +1/+1, it gets +1/+1 for each land you control and each land card in your graveyard. Wow, that could get big. 1 and a green, return 2 lands you control to their owner's hand and return it from your graveyard to your hand. This thing's ridiculous.
Yeah, this has got mythic stats for a reason. we can start to see why Gaia's Blessing is in the set, because there is the graveyard being referenced a few times. So I think that's kind of like a little blow-off valve in case it gets too crazy.
Yeah. This card's real good.
Yeah, I mean, it's a
It's
6/6.
not going away.
It's usually a 6/6 for 6. You have to exile it to get rid of it, and yeah, you just return 2 lands and play it again.
Yeah, I mean, it has reach and trample. They don't really go together that well. I guess
it makes it good
because,
on blocks, good on attacks.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm all for this card. I'm going to be windmill slamming this.
Yeah,
This
first
card's
pick,
great.
very, very powerful.
Yep.
Always play.
Cool.
Next we have Nature Spiral. This is a restore, recover. Return a permanent card from your graveyard to your hand. You don't get instant sorceries, which recovers do, but it's fine. I'll usually put one of these in my green decks.
Yeah, probably. Yep.
I mean, it's slightly easier to get Multani back with this, because you don't have to return the lands.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
Pierce the Sky. 1 and a green for an instant. Pierce the Sky deals 7 damage to target creature with flying. Oh, so we got our what is it called?
Why could they not print Plummet? Is there something
Plummet,
wrong
yeah.
with Plummet? What creature with flying is this not killing? Even Daragar's is 7.
Yeah, I don't know. It's the same thing.
That's just too many words. I don't like using extra words or using extra cards. So, like Pierce the Sky, that could have been an interesting card later down the line as a word combination of words. They could have just reprinted Plummet.
Yes. I don't have
That
any.
annoys me.
If you put the shield on your dragon, then it wouldn't die to this.
True. If you
That
give
matters.
the dragon a shield.
I don't know.
Great. Moving on. Play it to kill flyers if your opponent is playing flyers. If not, sideboard.
Yeah.
We have Primordial Worm. So this is a 6 mana 7/6 end sentence. It's huge if you need a giant dude, but I don't think you're going to need a giant dude in this set. There's better commons.
Yeah, I mean, if you miss out on a bunch of what are they? The kicker cards. I guess it does the same kind of thing
Yeah. This is like a
At
kicker
the top
card
end.
that's worse early in the
because you
game.
can't play it cheap. Yeah, yeah. It's filler. Don't stress about it.
Alright, let's migrate some Saprolings.
1 and a green for a sorcery, and has kicker of 4. Create 2 1/1 green sapling creature tokens, and if it was kicked, create 4 instead. Another good card.
Yeah, I like it. And this works well with our Fungal Rot card from earlier.
Yep.
For 2 mana, you make 2 dudes, gain 2 life, draw a card if you want to. 6 mana, make 4 is fine. Yeah, nice.
I think it's good.
If you've got Sapling synergies.
Yeah.
So we have the Song of Frailes. This is 1 and a green for our next saga. So again, same saga abilities. 3 saga counters the first 2 times. Your creatures add 1 mana of any color. All your creatures become Birds of Paradise.
Mm-hmm.
On the third one, all your creatures get +1/+1 counter, and Vigilance, Trample, and Indestructible until end of turn.
See, isn't this one better than the other one?
Yeah, probably.
Like the rare, like the other one was a rare. This is an uncommon. This one's got to be better, right? Because you got your creatures down, then you ramp into more creatures, and then they all get these ridiculous abilities.
Yeah, I mean, this says it costs 2 mana, but realistically, you're playing it on turn 3 or turn 4. After you've got, I would say, minimum 2 creatures in play already. Then you're playing, over the next 2 turns, you're playing even more creatures. It's not really doing anything until turn 7. I don't know, this one requires a bit more setup, I think. There needs to be a few extra balls in the air to make this work. The other one will just fuel itself and get you to where you need to be in the end.
I don't know. I just feel like this one finishes the game. The other one just sort of keeps setting up.
Yeah.
I really like this card. I think it's really good.
It's very powerful. You need to, as I said, you need to have that setup going, but that's not that difficult to achieve.
Yeah.
Seems good. Really bad top deck. late in the game, though, whereas the mending one's much better in late in the game. So
Yes.
because waiting 3 turns to give you guys a bonus, your opponent's just sitting there going, "Okay, I need to kill you in the next 2 turns."
Yeah, but if they can't, they're dead.
Yeah, they're going to be in a lot of trouble. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we'll just zoom in a little bit on the art. These sagas have really incredible art pieces. Unfortunately, this one isn't the clearest picture, but the sagas are amazing. And I believe Ultra Pro, not a sponsor of this show, but I will mention them anyway, are selling many of these as wall scrolls. So you can get these. I'm not sure if it's this one, but several of these to put on your wall.
Okay. Cool.
Cool. Moving right along.
Spore Swarm. 3 and a green for an instant and create 3 1/1 green sapling creature tokens. Yeah, this is good. Instant speed, 3 dudes. Awesome.
Yeah. Nice with the Song of Freyalise too. I think you could turn 2, do the migration, get 2 dudes, play Song of the Freyalise, then play this on the same turn. It could be a bit of a go wide there, and they all get +1/+1 later on. But no, I think it's nice. Instant speed is the key on this one, though.
Yeah.
If it wasn't instant, you'd be like, yeah, maybe.
I'd still play it, but it's because there's a sapling and token theme I think going on here. So yeah.
Yeah, Cheyenne Sisei's Legacy is starting to go up in value if you're starting to put these cards together.
Yeah, for sure. And it's obviously good with the what is it, Slimefoot?
Yes, definitely. Next, we have some more fungus. This is Spore Crown Thallid. It is a 2-mana 1/1. The return of some Thallids is a very, very popular archetype among commander sort of players. Each other creature you control that's a fungus or sapling gets +1/+1. So again, a bit of a bump up. This is the Sapling Lord.
I love this card. The bit on me, like I first started really playing in Shards of Alara block, but my first ever, like, they used to have like structure decks or whatever it was called back in the day, and the first one I ever got was a black-green Thallid Sapling deck, and this set is bringing back a lot of memories of that, and this card is so cool. Just because of that, I really love this card, and I'm going to be trying to do Saplings. This is really cool.
I think you've probably got enough Sapling support, so maybe you can put together your own constructed Saplings deck. Take it to some standard events.
I'm going to do it.
I mean, it's a bear. It's a bear with upside. You can play it in your limited decks. You definitely play it if you've got all of these other spore creating things before. But yeah, fine.
Yep. All right, Steel Leaf Champion. Green for a 5/4 Elf Knight. Steel Leaf Champion can't be blocked by creatures with power 2 or less. What? This is kind of absurd.
Kind of. This is incredibly absurd. This is, and it's a knight if that matters. You might have knight synergies. Triple green for 5/4 stats is ridiculous. And then just upside, can't be blocked by creatures with power 2 or less. So you can't even chump block this thing. You have to run a serious creature into it and probably trade. Give it the Jousting Lance, so it's a 7/4 with first strike. Just
this card is so good, and given that we've got Llanowar Elves in this set, this is a turn 2 thing for standard. I think
it's really important that we have a Doomblade effect in standard right now. Like, this is a ridiculous card. Pick it early, and I'm talking like first pick pack 1, because you need triple green to play it, and that's a pretty solid restriction. You may not be able to play this until turn 4 or turn 5 in your limited decks, which is still good.
That's still fine,
good, but not as powerful in limited as it would be in standard.
Yeah, and when you pick these, pick every single Llanowar Elf that you can find.
Yeah, 6 or 7 Llanowar Elves is the way to go with this card.
Yeah.
Alright, so next we have a Sylvan Awakening. It's 3-mana sorcery. Until your next turn, all lands you control become 2/2 elemental creatures with reach, indestructible, and haste. They are still lands. That's kind of scary. That's a big late game finisher.
Reach, indestructible, and haste. Weird that gives them haste. But
they've been doing that since Zendikar block when they brought in Awaken. The reason they do that is because keeping track of which land you played this turn is really stupid.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
So it doesn't matter if you tap the land that you played this turn or not. You can attack with all of your untapped lands.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's for like Magic Online or something.
No, just in general. Like it's not Magic
No
Online
one's
already
gonna
has
be
it.
like tracking your lands, are they?
Yes, in competitive they did, and this is
Oh, really?
it gets rid of that feel bad. Basically,
Yeah.
they don't want casual players to play this card, tap three lands, and then try to attack, and their opponent goes, that one has something sickness.
Yeah.
Because
Okay.
that sucks.
Yeah.
Like Magic Online shows you visually which lands are in play, which ones have you can play this turn if you want to figure that out.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it just removes the feel bad.
This card's got to be pretty good at least, right?
Yeah, I think this is a good card. I don't know if I'm gonna thumb through the rest of the pack and see what the uncommons are and see if there's something else there. But it's pretty close to a first pick.
Yeah.
It's just gonna end a game. Like you play it when you got 6 or 7 lands in play. Suddenly you've got all these extra creatures.
Yeah, it's gonna hit for a lot of damage, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Good finisher. Doesn't need to be a super early pick, but you wanna get this if you want to go green.
Yeah. Oh, there are dinosaurs here. Territorial. What is it? Allosaurus. 2 green for a 5/5 dinosaur, and it has kicker 2 and a green. When Territorial Allosaurus enters the battlefield, if it was kicked, it fights another target creature. Jesus, card, it's good.
An old Phytosaurus. Yeah, Phytosaurus Rex here. Ixalan was not actually the first plane to have dinosaurs in Magic. Allosaurus Rider is an old card from Ice Age. So the elves of Dominaria have tamed a few dinosaurs and used them as mounts.
Oh, that's really cool. A living remnant of the Ice Age. It was an Ice Age. That's cool.
Yeah. So Territorial Allosaurus, really good card. This is a 4 mana 5/5.
Yeah.
And then with upside. So
I actually see this as a 7 mana 5/5 fighter creature that can just be a 4 mana.
yeah, no, it's very powerful card.
The other way.
Certainly want to pick this, if not first, then very, very early, because it's not coming back.
Yeah, this card's awesome.
Alright, so we have a Thorn Elemental. This is a 7 mana 7/7, and you can have it assign its combat damage as though it weren't blocked. So this is 7 mana attack. You will hit them for 7 if it gets to combat damage, which is pretty scary.
Yeah.
Well, whether they block or not, it just gets through for 7. Yeah, so basically, if they block, you say, I'm not going to assign any damage to the creature. I'm going to assign all their damage to the player.
That's a scary
as an option. Your Thorn Elemental still takes damage from the creature blocking it, but it just doesn't deal any back. It just goes, nah, screw you, hit the player.
Chump blocking is for chumps.
Yeah, don't chump block this.
Can you, if they block with, say, a 3/3, can you deal 3 and then 4, or do you have to pick one or the other?
All or nothing. So
Okay.
you don't have like the trample option. If you manage to give it trample, then you could do that. But no, it's all or nothing. You may have it assign its common damage as if it weren't blocked. So no damage to the blocking creature, all to the player, or all to the creature's blocking.
Okay, good to know.
But yeah, very cool finisher. We know we can ramp into this, so certainly worth picking up.
Yep, good one.
In your green deck.
All right, Untamed Kavu. 1 and a green for a 2/2 Kavu, and it's got a kicker of 3. It has Vigilance and Trample, and if it was kicked, it enters the battlefield with 3+1/+1 counters on it.
And grizzly bears look sadder every day.
This card's ridiculous.
This is really cool. This is a Vigilance Trample bear, and then has kicker. This is stupid. What has happened to me? They've definitely turned up the power in this set.
Yeah, this is an excellent card. Excellent.
Yeah, really cool limited card. Definitely going to pick that up. Maybe make it to standard if there's some kind of big ramp deck, just because it has that utility. But I'm not so confident on that. We'll see how we go. Yeah, really cool. Don't sleep on the Kavu. Verdant Force. Verdant Force is back. We saw a similar card to this just the previous set, where this is a 8 mana, 5 green, green, green for a 7/7 elemental. At the beginning of each upkeep, create a green sapling creature token. So you play it as a 7/7, go to your opponent's turn, make a dude, go back to your turn, make a dude. Keep doing that every turn.
Yep, and that's really, really good. I mean,
Yeah, this is your sapling top end. It gives you endless chump blockers if you need them, or you can sack off your saplings to draw cards. Apparently,
yeah, we've found a lot of things that we can do with a bunch of saplings. So I think this is a really cool inclusion. I like it.
yeah. I mean, the only downside is that it is 8 mana. It does have triple green in its mana cost, so it's expensive, but you can get there.
Yeah, I think we've seen that we can get there. Oh, look at the artwork on this. This is awesome. Wild Onslaught, 3 and a green for an instant with a kicker of 4. Put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. If this spell was kicked, put 2 +1/+1 counters on each creature you control instead. Okay, so this one's pretty expensive, but it is a trick, and, 2 +1/+1 counters. That's something, if you can do it.
For sure. Like, I'm just looking through this art. There's so much going on there. Bears and serpents and rats and eagle creatures. Not even a full... It's just like an eagle ram. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
Basically, what I'm seeing here is Overrun. It doesn't give trample, but it's an instant speed Overrun.
Cost 8.
It does. Normal Overrun cost 5 or 6. This is giving you instant speed as permanent buff. You attack with all of your guys, and your opponent blocks or whatever. They think they've got favourable blocks, and then you just go, whoop.
Yeah.
This is going to be blowouts. This is a great card.
I don't know. I think the cost for me is a little bit too high.
This is the same cost as Verdant Force.
Yeah, but Verdant Force is a 7/7.
And you can splash this. Not that you would, but you could.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what to think. I think it could either be really good or really bad. I don't think there's a middle ground for this one.
I think in the exact same deck that you would play the Verdant Force in, this is better. Because you're making lots of saplings, you're going wide, and then instead of playing Verdant Force, you're just killing your opponent because you're swinging in for so much more damage. You need setup, I guess. That's the big difference, is this needs setup. Verdant Force doesn't.
The only thing I'm thinking with that is that with your ramp that you would get out your Verdant Force, you would probably be using creatures to do that most of the time. And if you're ramping this, you can't really get the benefit of attacking with your creatures while also using the mana. That's the only thing that I'm thinking of with this.
No, and that's where the instant speed part of it comes into play even more, because you can use your creatures to play it, kill your opponent's attacks, untap, swing.
Yeah. Okay, I see that side. Yeah.
I just think I'm putting this in my green decks. Just if I have it and I'm in green, it's in there.
You're tempting me. You're tempting me, but I'm still a bit iffy on this one.
I look forward to blowing you out with it at pre-release.
Okay.
What's next?
Yavimaya Sapherd. 2 and a green for a 2/2 fungus, and when it enters the battlefield, create a 1/1 green sapling creature token. So this is just a variant of what we've seen before, and this is good.
Yeah, 3 mana for 3 power, 3 toughness across 2 bodies. Good stuff. It's more resistant to removal, so yeah, nice. Yep. And I immediately wanted, when I saw this, give it to you because I knew you were going to say something like Shep.
I was thinking
very
Shepherd.
tricky. Yeah, it's there to screw with you. I'm pretty sure that's why they chose it, just to mess with people. Yavimaya Sapherd. And that is the end of the green cards for Dominaria. There's some really cool green stuff.
Yeah, I'm really excited about green in this set now. Awesome.
Yeah, there's some giant creatures and kicker and lots of ramp, so gonna be great to play some green. Join us soon for the red cards, and we'll see you then.
See you guys.